Hey guys, it's Mr. Beatty. By popular request, we're going to talk about some 6th grade math standards, which for my 5th graders that are going to 6th grade next year, this is going to be important. But here's a little secret. You already did this. I know because I was in class with Mr. Boyd when we taught this. In fact, I'm the one that taught this. But we're going to go over it because it's super important. And not only that, it's going to make your life a lot easier. So, GCF, what does it stand for? Greatest common factor. You're going to use this in multiple things. Once you get the word problems, you're going to see the things that you're going to use this for. But, as we've already seen, you're going to use this to simplify fractions, which is going to be super important because I'm sure there are teachers out there that are going to say, you didn't simplify your fraction. I'm going to count it wrong. But with GCF, you're going to make sure that you get it right. All right, so when we find the GCF of two numbers, say 10 and 20. Now, for my 5th graders that have done this, all even numbers have one number in common, and that number is 2. Very good. But here's what we're going to do to make our lives easier. We're going to put these numbers in a column like this. We're going to list all the factors. And basically, what a factor is two numbers that multiply together to give you that number. So, the first thing that every number in the world has in common, even 0, is a 1. So 1 times what equals 10? Right, 1 times 10 equals 10. So we're going to put our 10 down here so we have room for anything else that multiplies together. Now, what else times 10? I just said 10 and 20 have 2 in common, so let's put a 2. 2 times what equals 10? 2 times 5 equals 10, right. And then we say to ourselves, does 3 work? No, 3 doesn't go into 10. Does 4 work? No, 4 doesn't go into 10. Does 5 work? Yes, we've already got 5. Does 6 work? No. Does 7 work? No. Does 8 work? No. Does 9 work? No. Now, just a little number fact for you because I lay in bed at night and think about these things. The only numbers in the world are 0 through 9. Now, that might sound a little funny to you, but if you think about it, every number is made up of 2, 3, 4 numbers. And those numbers are always 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. If you think of a number to prove me wrong, then please give me a call. I'd love to hear it. All right, so let's think about 20. What do all numbers in the world have? 1. So 1 times what is 20? And the answer is, of course, 20. We're going to put this down here because 20 might have more factors than 10. In fact, I'm guessing it does. So, all even numbers have in common the number 2. 2 times what is 20? Well, 2 times 10 is 20. Now, I've got a sneaking suspicion I know the answer, but we're going to keep going. So, what else? Well, 3 doesn't work. 4. So, 4 times what is 20? 4 times 5 is 20. So does 5 work? Yes, it's right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, no. Okay, so now we have our greatest common factor. It's 10. So if you had, and how's that going to be useful? Well, in ways that you'll see later. But if you had the fraction 10 over 20, and you know the greatest common factor is 10, you can divide the top by 10 and the bottom by 10, and that's going to simplify your fraction to its simplest form. And you're going to be completely done. So 10 divided by 10 is 1, and 20 divided by 10 is 2. So 10 over 20 is the same thing as 1 over 2, or 1/2. So that's my example. And those are pretty easy numbers to find the GCF of. And some numbers will be pretty tricky to find the GCF of. And believe it or not, some numbers won't even have a GCF. So let's look at 5 and 15. 5 and 15 are pretty easy to find the GCF of. So I'm gonna set these up and then give you the reins to show me what you know. So we're gonna put 5 up top and 15 on the bottom. We're gonna put a line between them. Now, show me what you know. Go from there and let's take a look and see if we're right. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is list the factors. Now, all numbers in the world, every one of them, have the factor 1. So 1 times what equals 5? Right, 5. Now, 5 is a special number. It's called a prime number. And what a prime number is it means that the only two factors that number has is 1 in itself. Now, most odd numbers are prime, not all, but 5 is an example of an odd number that is also prime. So the only two factors are 1 and 5. 15. 15 is an odd number. How do we know that? Because 5 is an odd number. But it's not prime, so be careful. So all numbers in the world have in common a 1. So 1 times what equals 15? And the answer is 15. Now, we're going to leave room for other factors. So, we also know that since 15 has a 5 at the end, then a factor is 5. But 5 times what? So 5 times what equals 15? Well, 5, 10, 15. So 5 times 3 equals 15. So we're going to put 3 here. Okay, so 3, 4 doesn't work. 5 is right there. 6 doesn't work. 7, 8, 9 doesn't work. So we're done. So what number do we have in common? 5. Right. So the greatest common factor is 5. Now, the way that that's going to be useful, if we have a fraction 5 over 15, and we know our greatest common factor is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So, 5 over 15, written in its simplest form as a fraction, is 1 over 3. So we just simplified our fraction. So that's one way that you use the greatest common factor. So we're going to go over more later. But right now, keep practicing. Keep reducing your fractions. Get the problem entirely right, not just half right. Get the problem 100% right instead of 50%. So you can get an A and not the other thing. Until next time, guys, I'll see you, and keep working on your fractions.